Do you think you need $5,000 to start DJing today? Well, you don't. In this episode, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to start spinning today without breaking the bank. Let's get it. You are watching the DJ Mentor. Real tips, real music, real growth. All right, let's get right into this. But first things first, we got to talk about mindset. So one of the biggest mistakes I see beginner DJs making is thinking that great equipment equals greatness. So great equipment does not equal great DJing. However, skills are what make you a great DJ. You don't need to practice on great equipment to develop your skills. I'm teaching you guys how to be a professional DJ in 6 months. I did not learn on the best equipment. I got set up on about 500 to 600 Canadian dollars, which is I think about 450 or 500 US dollars. And I'm going to show you guys in this episode how to do the same. I did, however, pay for a mentorship, which was a little bit up there. I'm going to teach you those skills as well. But in that mentorship, my DJ mentor, he's the best on this island. So I live in Bali, Indonesia. Best on this island, plays at all the top venues. And guess what we practiced on? He taught me on the model of this. He taught me on the FL400, the DDJ 400. This is the FLX4, which is just a newer version of the same thing. So we practice on this little baby thing. We connect this to a laptop with some headphones. I'm saying that to illustrate the point. You don't need the super fancy equipment to get started. You don't need the super fancy equipment even when you're 5-10 years into the game. So this guy's been in the game for more than 20 years and he still uses this. Whenever you go to the clubs though, it's going to be very similar. So in the next episode, we'll break down what every button on the controller does. But the point is we practice the skills and we can transfer those skills over to the bigger, more professional equipment in the club. Let's talk about the controller. So you can start with something small and simple like the FLX4. This is designed for beginners and you can still take the skills you learn from practicing on this onto more professional equipment. This one's very affordable and built for beginners. And it has a lot of cool little features, but we'll break that down in the next episode. And in terms of a laptop, with a beginner controller like this, you'll need a screen. So you're gonna have to connect it to a laptop which has a screen. And any laptop with a decent amount of RAM will do. So if you can run Spotify and Safari or Spotify and Google Chrome at the same time without lag, then your laptop is probably powerful enough. Now, in terms of software, I recommend using Rekordbox. So Rekordbox is a pioneer software and they are the leaders in the industry at the moment. Serato is also very popular with DJs. However, I see Serato is more for DJs that want to play open format. And open format is where you're mixing all types of genres. So hip hop, house, dance, all in one. I am a house DJ and I'm here to teach you guys how to play house. I can play open format, however, that is not my preference. I use Rekordbox, so that is what we're going to be using mainly. Another software I do want to mention is Virtual DJ. Highly underrated, but it is a very powerful software, and it's actually what I used when I started. So Virtual DJ, you can get a free trial, and even before you get a controller, if your budget is $0, you can start DJing just on your laptop with Virtual DJ. When I first got it, I downloaded the iPad app, and I actually think I paid maybe $7 for the iPad app, still less than 10 bucks. And then I was DJing on my iPad connected Bluetooth to my laptop. So Virtual DJ is very powerful. I like the use of the stems. So stems are breaking the song into different parts. It's just a good introductory way to mix. So my favorites are Virtual DJ and Rekordbox, but as a professional, I want you guys to move on to Rekordbox. Let's talk about headphones. So I use entry-level Pioneer headphones. I'm going to upgrade these soon. However, these are plenty good enough. They're loud. I've used these in the club. I use these at home, of course. And already we've gone over the very, very basics you need. We've gone over the laptop. We've gone over a controller. We've gone over headphones. And that is the absolute minimum stuff you can get going with. And to get going with this, other than the laptop, luckily I had speakers already. But just these The controller plus the headphones ran me less than $500 US. All right, let's talk about speakers. Technically, you don't need them. You can actually just play through your headphone when you're at the very beginning, but eventually you'll need speakers. So my recommendation would be these Yamaha series speaker. However, I was lucky. I've had speakers for many, many years. I had these JBL charge speakers that connect via Bluetooth, and I just sync that up to my laptop, and I still use those today when I'm practicing for myself or playing for an intimate group of people. I link up 4 of them and they go really, really loud. However, the drawback with using Bluetooth speakers though is there is a delay. So with my JBL speakers connected to Bluetooth, I do have a delay, and I have to do absolutely all sound, all beat matching and listening to tracks in the headphones before I do any transitions, because if I try to do it based off of what I hear from the Bluetooth, it's going to be delayed. So if you use these Yamaha reference speakers, the sound is a lot, there's much less latency. So whatever you see on your screen, on your display, is close to what you hear in real life, and you can, in the moment, mix, transition a little bit more closely than if you're using Bluetooth speakers. All right, finally, mistakes to avoid. Do not overspend early. I've seen far too many DJs, I guess they have a lot of money, just buy the top of the line equipment. However, there are many, many other skills you need to master. So of course you have to be a good DJ. You need to know how to beat match. You need good song selection. And also a little secret, I teach this in my course, is networking. What is going to get you forward is networking and quantum networking. The people in your social circle are going to get you into the clubs, the beach clubs, the restaurants that you might want to play at. So it's not necessarily about having the fanciest equipment. It's about having the skills and having the network. I spilled the secret, oops. To get you into the places that you want to get into. Do not chase gear trends. So some of these brands want you buying gear every single year and equipment every single year, but DJing is very simple. You are taking people on a journey. So the same way you like one song, imagine you're playing a 1-hour set or a 2-hour set. Imagine that as a 1-hour song or a 2-hour song. So that means you have to combine seamlessly a combination of songs to make it a flowy journey. You can do that on any DJ equipment. You don't need the latest equipment, you don't need the latest deck, the latest headphones. So don't chase gear trends and save your money. Do not wait until it's perfect. Get started now. When I started with an iPad and virtual DJ software, and then I upgraded to an entry-level controller, and now I'm playing in clubs, beach clubs, and restaurants, and I'm still using the same equipment. Obviously, when I play in those locations, I'm on much more professional, fancy equipment. However, the skills are transferable. The skills I use to practice at home are the skills I take to the club. If you're serious about DJing, you've already got the most important thing, which is passion. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use every button on your controller. So if you're on this journey with me, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.